My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
All right, today is August 22nd, 2026. It is 10:52 a.m. I just uploaded this. Gonna be at 2 p.m. Everything is fine. All right, so I want to see the background. I forgot I was uploading it. Okay, so this is the background. If there are any new subscribers, welcome. The money, $88. All right, so let's go on X. So it seems like so far I have not come across any tweet that says that any statement from their camp, from Harry and Meghan, that they are going back. All right, when I do see something like that from their spokesperson, I'll believe it. But so far, this is the conversation that's going on Twitter. I'm a bit behind. There's a lot of other things that I think I saw yesterday, but I was so busy. So some of the tweets that I have on the list, I've been putting on the list since yesterday, so I don't think I put them in the proper order. But let's go over it. Okay, we also back squad. I now have to change my audience every time I put something. Assemble. So making reference because the Sussexes are heading back to the UK allegedly, and because the Rangers will be on this squaddy's post. Okay, we are going to be so busy watching William and Kate having meltdowns and Matt Malanga commission. Alright, next tweet. I was thinking of something I forgot. I did say at one point, if they do go back, I probably will not be covering it that much. Something I said way in the back, in the past, even before they, whatever the nonsense that's coming out that they're going back to the UK. I did say if they go back, I probably will not be covering it too much. And I think I still feel the same way. Still, you may not get too much videos of me talking about the Sussexes and the UK. Alright, next tweet. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna cover it completely, but if I come across something that is interesting, I probably will. But other than that, I don't feel the vibe. Next tweet. The king and queen seen arriving in England. I don't make the rules. You media has decided. Welcome back to their royal highnesses. I think this is an old picture, and again making reference to what the media is saying, that they're going back. Their Majesties, there's the laugh here. Her car photos always gag me. How can anyone look so stunning and candid shots taking unknowingly through the windows of a moving vehicle? She's radiant. Okay, numbers don't lie. Okay, articles. Let me pause this. Okay, articles written about Harry and Meghan versus William and Kate. Sussexes, January, wow, 509. February, 317. March, 578. Okay, cut me with that side of profile. Let me go into that and see if, oh my god, she put more numbers. March 578, April 900, May 364, June 441, July 856. Damn. August even more, 908. Well, okay, a total of 4,873. Wales, oh my god, January 60, February, okay, 2-digit. Total 545. Oh my goodness. Let's go to the next tweet. I'm telling you, the squad or something. How did they calculate all of these? Let me bookmark it and I'm assuming she's right because I don't have time to go over all of these. There's no way. Okay. So this is Don Lemon. It was talking about the Sussexes returning to the UK. Harry and Meghan were never the problem. Don Lemon called out royal commentators. Breaking. My thoughts on Prince Harry and Meghan returning to the UK. All right, 26 seconds. Screenshot.
Because when they stayed, you complained. When they left, you complained. And now they're returning and you're complaining again. At some point, you got to wonder whether Harry and Meghan were ever really the problem, or whether outrage over Harry and Meghan simply became too profitable to give up. Clicks.
It's a shame. It's a shame. I'm glad he's bringing it up because he has a huge following. Okay, that's Omid. He used to be on CNN, so he has a huge profile, and he's a professional in that aspect. But once he on his own platform, he be saying some cursing words. Omid Scobie on Harry and Meghan's return to the UK says clues to them making changes in their lives has been there for a while, from scaling down staff and offices to the change in Archwell working on a different model. Wasn't not too long ago, I saw one of, what's his name? He's been with them since they were in the UK, and then he moved to the US with her, and not too long ago, he moved back to the UK. What's his name? I think I have his picture. I can't remember his name. I'm wondering if this is true, they are moving back to the UK. They sent him ahead of time to prepare things for them. I'm just wondering, what the hell is his name? I feel ashamed of myself. I should have known. This is what I type on Google. I'm sharing all my shame with you. Staff of Harry and Meghan who have been with them since they were in the UK. There it is. James Holt. That's him. That's the one. Wasn't he left not too long ago? He left and then went back to the UK for whatever reason he went back. Him. That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. But anyway, back to this. Oh my God, I feel so ashamed. Okay, James Holt. That's the one I was thinking of. Omid Scobie on Harry and Meghan's return to the UK says clues to them making changes in their lives has been there for a while, from scaling down staff and offices to the change in Archwell working on a different model. Says they have been slowly and methodically making changes. I miss all the clues. Let's see here. I read his book. He doesn't get everything right, but they are the only ones I trust apart from Spare. Okay, then know that. Okay, I've read his book. Is he talking about Omid? Well, with the Omid thing, especially with Finding Freedom, because there was a part where he sent a list of questions for Meghan to answer. And then that went between, what's this guy name? Who was working for William, under William, and then also helping Meghan, the Sussexes as well. So when Omid gave that list of questions, Meghan, I think, answered it to her best of abilities. And then she probably gave it back to that middleman, okay, who worked for both of them. And this is where it sort of messed up, in my humble opinion. Because that guy, what the hell is his name? Oh my God, this video, this is why I love to record like deeply in the middle of the night, because my mind is much clearer. Right now, I'm forgetting every single name, and I'm gonna pause to look for the name. Jason Kanoff, okay? Jason Kanoff. I had to search for him. Okay, so Jason Kanoff was working under William, but at the same time, he was helping Meghan. That was before all the debacle came about, okay? So when Meghan responded to the question that was written by Omid, Meghan handed the responses back to Jason Kanoff. The reason I know that, because there was a letter during the lawsuit, because Meghan had written to Jason and said they want to set up certain time to discuss certain things. One of the things she wanted to talk to Jason Kanoff about was Omid, okay? Finding Freedom. They didn't know the name of the book, but she mentioned Omid. So when Jason had the responses to give to Omid, this is where the problem happened. I think someone, I don't know, allegedly asked for the question, and then that person changed Meghan's responses. And then after that person changed that response, give it back to who was not supposed to have anything to do with the question that Meghan answered, okay? then put it back on whatever envelope, give it to Jason, and then Jason then give it to Omid. This is where the misinformation happened, because Omid stood by his thing. He said, I don't know what anybody is talking about because this came from the palace. He said it. Okay? And the same thing I think happened with the other book as well, The End Game, because when they wanted to do certain thing to put some misinformation in his book, they couldn't do it to all of the books because there were so many different languages that the book was translated to. But they picked one country. Which country again? The Netherlands. And Omid stood by it and said, look, I don't speak different. When he did his manuscript, it was written in English. I then said this in the book and whatnot. So that's what I think happened, first of all, with the first book, Finding Freedom. And then in the second one, because the tabloid did not want to get sued. So because they felt like they have the authority, they feel like they could do that. And they probably made whoever in Netherlands to do that for them. So this could happen. This guy could say that on national television. That's all he wanted to say. So he sabotage his book only in the Dutch language. Is that what the language Netherlands speak? Dutch? Okay, so I think it's Dutch. Why he was always the most insightful journal on the royal beat. He took its integrity with him when he left. Exactly. Very true. I still believe this is temporary and Harry and Meghan will be back in the US this time next year. The UK is not a good place for Harry and Meghan and their children to stay on a permanent basis. We will see. As only time will tell, it's 50-50. Where do they get all this information? Okay, I'm just reading this. I still don't believe this is happening. I have not come across anything. Well, I don't follow a lot of the Avengers, so that's why I'm not getting. I don't know. If this is happening, it's because they feel like, the palace probably feel like they have tried everything to win the hearts and mind of the people, but they realize they're still on the decline. They're paying attention. Okay? They're paying attention. When they realize they have tried as many things as possible, it's still not working, and they're begging Harry to come back for to save them, to rescue them, to have some sort of a positive, at least for Charles, because he's an old man. He probably just want to have some positive talk. Oh, whatever. These things are so minuscule. All right, next tweet. Now I love the Sussexes, but blaming Oprah for their choices is a wild take. All right, she retweeted that. There's one person I have to blame for this. Okay, you never guess who call Marilyn holds responsible for the situation Harry and Meghan find themselves in. What? All right, let's see here.
There is one person that I do hold to blame for what's been going on.
Nigel Farage.
No, Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, they're very similar.
Winfrey. When you're a presenter, you really have to be a bit tactful and to not sort of spark anything off.
What?
She should have said to Meghan after the interview, Meghan, we need to not air this video. It will not do you any good.
What?
And Oprah Winfrey, I was absolutely shocked at her mannerism, the way she dealt with it, the way she encouraged sort of things to happen.
I would not.
Okay, I don't want to put all the Brits under the same umbrella. Let's say this person in particular. Does she prefer people lie to her so she could feel good? But meanwhile, reality will still remain reality. What did she expect Oprah to do? What did Oprah did wrong? She asked question and then the answer. When Oprah asked Harry to say something, or the name of the person who was talking, who said about the skin color and things like that, Harry said no. This he will never share.
Hold up.
There's
Stop
several
right now.
There's several conversations.
There's a
about
conversation with you
it. With Harry
about how dark your baby is going to be?
potentially and what that would mean or look like.
Ooh.
That conversation I'm never going to share. But at the time it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Can you tell us what the question was?
No, I'm not comfortable sharing that.
Okay.
So Harry and Meghan have the right to respond and don't respond. I think Oprah did okay. I mean, whatever. Let's continue. It's in people like that. They prefer people lie to them.
Presume to give Oprah Winfrey guidance on how to be a presenter for a fraction of a second, but it's interesting you say she should have said to Meghan, look, we're not going to air this. I'm sorry, Marilyn, as someone who is a presenter, nothing like and never will be the esteem of Oprah Winfrey, very few are. When you get a corking interview like that, you can't get it on air or get it in print quick enough. That's the reality, Marilyn.
Can I tell you something? I believe that...
And then it was a mutual understanding. Meghan chose exactly Meghan and Harry, I don't know how the discussion went. They choose the presenter to say that thing. Oh my God. Well, if the royal family have any issues, well, the sister had issues. Let's look at it in that aspect. The half-sister had issue, took her to court. She won her case. The same thing can be applied to the royal family. If Harry and Meghan said anything that was not true or something like, they could take the same proper step. You're not doing interview just to make people feel good. She had to do it because the paper in the UK was saying all sort of nonsense about them. Oh my God. No, you know, this is why the royal family can do some of the things that they are doing. They give you some BS to hold on to, and then they run on and live their lives. They lie to you all day long. But, oh my God. Let's continue.
In print quick enough. That's the reality, Marilyn.
Can I tell you something? I believe that she was supposed to be Meghan's friend.
What?
Do you see what I mean? She wasn't
Yes.
just a presenter, so she was her friend. So look at it in that side or that point of view. You know what I mean? You know, not everything has to be aired, especially
God.
when it sparks a lot of, discontent.
Friend first. Or
Okay, maybe she should take that same kind of perspective into the papers in the UK. The papers in the UK who wants to get in everybody's business, write nonsense, pay people to look into your personal information to write about it. This is the kind of question that they should be putting for the papers. But Harry and Meghan, along with Oprah, they both agreed to do that interview. So what's the problem? If Meghan said anything or Harry said anything that was false, whoever they were referencing to, that person can call either one of them to court, which the half-sister did.
Sparks a lot of, discontent.
friend first or journalist first? Which should it have been?
Friendship comes first everywhere in life.
Oh God. Let's see here. Why blame Oprah for asking question? You should blame Piers Morgan for Thank you for revealing to the world that Charles and Kate are the racist royal who were worried about the color of the unborn Harry and Meghan baby and how it will affect the royal family. Alright, so she bring her receipt. Oprah never uttered a word after the interview. Well, the following day after they did they aired the interview, where she was presenting it to that same station who was airing the interview, let's say the morning show. This is where we came across where he said about for Meghan to be 50% less of herself. Okay, so that was the day after the interview aired.
Been given advice that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was.
Wow.
That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Wow, I think it's...
We came to know about that. So they were talking about the interview, how it come about and whatnot. Okay, and then she never said anything that wasn't true. She bring additional footage, from my understanding, that was not aired on that main interview. Oprah never uttered a word after the interview. I'm sure she regretted it. Maybe she realized afterwards that there was more than meets the eye and Meghan's comment. and went for at least, said, soonest mended. What are they talking about? Are you okay? Oprah is not a tabloid journalist. She remained a trained, a pro journalist. She let the interview speak for itself. She's not a commentator inserting herself into the story. That's what's supposed to happen. Why would she need to talk about it further? Yeah, she didn't talk about it any further except mentioning that additional footage and that they did not put because they had what 2-hour time slot to fit the for how many long they did the interview, so they cut some part out, and the following day on the morning show she was talking about it. One of two. To Marilyn's last point, can someone tell her that family comes first before everything in life? And when Harry told the Windsors about the racist undertone and the reporting on Meghan and Archie, if family had put family first and shut it down, Harry and Meghan would never had need to walk away and even do the interview as well, because it will not be that far. Yeah, this is a very good point. The one thing that I will never understand about certain, and in this case, this nut job, is that they don't want anyone to hold the tax-funded institution accountable. Two senior members of this institute explain the BS behind the scene, and you're unhappy with them. There's that. Royal fun and logic, always a plot twist before the kettle boil. The background, what are they I think I have this somewhere. No, that's an ad. So let's go back. This is from the main radio, LBC. Now this is the squad who retweeted it. Let's see what some of the squad are saying. I'm really tired of people blaming Oprah Winfrey for having a TV show. Amazing how the British media makes money off the Sussexes. Mind-blowing. Yeah, this man is an old idiot. Okay, I don't know anything about him besides him being a presenter. I've shared some of his videos before. Next tweet. So that I thought that was this guy on the last one. Poor Clive Alderton. There's the laugh here. As we knew, his resignation 3 weeks ago was a tantrum after finding out that, contrary his delusion of grandeur, he's not the king of the UK after all. I still believe he was pushed out after having his wings publicly clipped. Good riddance. That Clive Alderton, I covered this already. Okay, I usually have my crazy analysis. Okay, I think after the lawsuit, okay, what was the last lawsuit with Daddy Fair? And there's a period of time, okay, where whichever group that loses the case, they have a certain amount of time, either 21 days or 22 days, to file what's the term, to appeal it. Okay, so the time, I think it was like to the exact amount of days that it was announced he's leaving. Okay, 21 days after the lawsuit of the Daily Fair. Harry lost with all the other claimants. Daily Fair won. So his job I think was done. They wanted him there until this moment. Okay, to make sure there's not any talk that's going on, because those people, they want eyes and ears in certain places. So that Clive Alderton was in the palace for the papers. In my humble opinion, this is a guess. I'm not there. I'm not saying this is a fact. But when I look at clues and I search online, how long does it take after an appeal, a judge, a lawsuit? Okay, how long can you appeal the judgment? It says something about there's different type of lawsuit, different courts in the UK, and for what I assume was for Harry and the other claimant, it was either 21 days or 22 days, and that's when he left. So his job was done. So that was my analysis, my conclusion of why he left. Okay, so they're not pursuing appealing. Let me ask Google if Harry is appealing the case. All right, this is what I asked. Is Prince Harry and the other claimants, should have been S, appealing the Daily Mail case? All right, Prince Harry and the other claimants have until, it's much longer, October 2nd, 2026 to decide whether to officially launch an appeal. To officially. But what was that I was looking for? Okay. There was something I looked go watch that other video. There was some crazy question that I was asking myself. I look it up. Let me see something. I wish I remember what I asked on that video. I asked which court did Prince Harry and the other claimant appealing the Daily Mail. Okay, Prince Harry and the other claimants brought their privacy case against Associate Newspapers Limited, the publishing Daily Mail, in the High Court. All right, High Court of Justice. Okay, of London. Okay, let me ask another question. So I asked, how long can an appeal take from a judgment in the High Court of Justice in London? Okay, I literally copied this from that last one. It says here, an appeal from the High Court judgment in London typically takes anywhere from 6 months, okay, this part I didn't hear, to over a year from start to finish, depending on the complexity of the case. Key deadline stages. Okay, maybe this is the one that I read on the last one. Filing the appeal. You normally have 21 days. Okay, so there it is. It's repeating here. You normally have 21 days from the date of the High Court decision or the date set by the judge to file an appellant notice to request permission to appeal. So that maybe this is the part here. Okay, permission to appeal. You have 21 days. Did he file it? I don't know. And I did put my disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. All right, I'm just someone on the internet. So I was asking myself question, and there it is here. It's repeating again, 21 days. So when I was looking at it, when I counted, I think it's between 21 days or 22 days that they say he's leaving. So I was like, maybe that's all he wanted, to be eyes and ears in the palace for the papers. But whatever, let's leave this topic alone. I don't know if Harry and the claimants are gonna file appeal. Okay, so let's listen to this. I went through all of this before I even listened to him. I read that already.
There's this kind of, frankly, intelligence insulting briefing going around from the palace saying that Charles knew nothing about this at all until Sunday evening. I mean, well, as I wrote in my Substack, if you believe that, you might want to go and have a word with Clive Alderton and ask him why he resigned 3 weeks ago from his position. And clearly, Clive resigned because he knew this was happening and he thought it was a terrible, terrible, terrible idea for the monarchy.
Well, he's not the king, but whatever it is, Charles know how to play the game. All right, he realized he have tried. Okay, I'm still not believing he's going back, but if this is the way he's going, Charles knows how to play the game. Charles and Camilla, they know how to play the game of being a royalist to manipulate the people. They probably have tried as many things. What did I use in one of my things? They have tried everything in their arsenal. It did not work because their numbers still going down despite what YouGov have said. Okay, the people, this is the thing, the people, when the people speaks, that's what's matter. So they probably realize, our blueprint is not working. The royal family blueprint is not working. So we need to get Harry back, because everything they have thrown at Harry and Meghan, it doesn't reach them. And we need to knock on wood, it never reached them. And then we need to keep on praying. All right. Clive literally oversaw the massive fall in popularity of the monarchy, partly due to his wrong counsel. Imagine spending years behaving as though you were indispensable, only to discover the institution has somehow managed to remember who the actual king is. Awkward. That is Clive's legacy, forever a stain against his name. That too, but it's Charles' fault. Okay, there's an article that I read a while back, when that was before Harry and Meghan left. What was this guy? And I think the article says something, the Queen's biggest mistake, and this private secretary of the Queen was one of those who didn't give a shit what was it, Charles and what's the other one, the other brother who's in trouble, who's no longer what's his name, with Virginia Giuffre, Duke of York. Okay, so when that particular secretary was there, there were things Charles and Andrew wanted. I remember his name. I'm telling you, I can't remember a damn thing in this recording. Andrew and Charles wanted certain things, and when they went to that particular secretary of the Queen, and he looked at every angle of things, he said to them, no, you cannot have certain things because it will look bad, whichever angle it is. And they were aware of the Epstein thing. Okay, so what Charles and the brother did, they put their heads together as senior members of the royal family, and they remove him, and Charles put his own people there. Okay, so all this are Charles things. Okay, and Clive pretty much just did whatever they told him to do. Okay, so why the lie about being blindsided? To blame it on Harry and Meghan, to make them look bad. They haven't even moved in yet. Write it all down, Meghan, including receipt for your memoir. It is going to be on fire. Okay, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Tom Psycho on something. They told such a silly lie. We know full well Charles knew. As if anyone could stop them if they wanted to come home. But good riddance to the guy who lied to the Queen at the Sandringham Summit, and she believed him over Harry. As I said, the King knew long time ago their plans. I personally think along the line what Harry suggested, we can work for free, will happen. Okay, when I see it, I'll believe it. Alright, so there's one more I'm gonna I'm almost, let me make sure I didn't skip anything. I think I almost skipped that. Nope, that's the same one. Next one. This is the last one for this video, and then I'm gonna continue. Okay, Richard Eden has officially lost his marbles. There's a laugh here. It's Charles and William who need to apologize to Harry and Meghan. Are they still going at this nonsense again? Harry and Meghan didn't do a damn thing but protect themselves. What the hell is wrong with these people? Exclusive, King Charles must put his foot down. Either he forces Harry to apologize or strip him of titles. They could take the titles. First, Harry need to ask them, okay, I'll apologize if you tell me what I did wrong. List everything that I did wrong, and then I'll apologize to the thing I believe I did wrong. That's all. Fine. I'm sure Harry will not mind to apologize. But for what? For what? List them all. So I respond to that. In my humble opinion, I'm sure Harry won't mind apologizing to the King, but he has to list everything H did wrong in order for him to do so. What did Harry did that were wrong? Apology for being treated like shit, like F off. Lee Ricky go fly, he kite. I wish he just take the fucking titles and be done. Oh yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. I wish he just take the effing titles and be done with it. I love to see what they all wang about then. Okay, they're so pathetic. Alright. It's a mystery why the British media thinks it's their God-given right to lose their shit over a family having an extended break in the UK. He's gone berserk lately. It's truly bizarre. Alright, I'm gonna stop here. The next tweet that I'm gonna do in the next video, we're gonna start with this. I think the squad are talking still about Harry and Meghan returning. There's this. It's just conversation. Alright, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
you know, we ask for forgiveness, and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better